Hi guys, my name's Marty, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up a basic WordPress website in about 30 to 40 minutes. So the first thing we need to do is register a domain name and set up web hosting for our website. Now there are tons of different places to get these from, but if I go to wordpress.org and click into hosting at the top, we can see the hosting companies that they recommend. Now, Pressable is fully managed hosting, which is a little bit more expensive, and we don't really need it for a basic website. So instead, we're going to go for Bluehost, which is shared hosting and a lot cheaper. So if you're following along at home, we're going to go to bluehost.com, or if you want to support me and this channel, you can click my affiliate link in the video description, or visit the URL that's on screen now to get here instead. I will earn a small commission if you do this, and you'll also get the discounted price. And we also get a free domain name for the first year. Then either way, once we get here, we're going to hover over Hosting at the top and click into Web Hosting. Then if we click View Plans, this will show us the different hosting plans they offer. And we're going to go for the Starter plan, which allows us to have up to 10 websites and up to 40,000 visitors per month, which is more than enough for a basic website. So we just need to click Choose Plan, and now we can register the domain name we want for our new website. So we just need to type the domain name we want in here, and for my example, I'm going to type Marty's website. Then we can change the domain extension on the right if we like, but I'm going to leave this on .com for mine. So the domain name I'm registering is martyswebsite.com. Then once we're done here, we can click Search for Domain, and as long as it's available, we'll be brought to a page that looks like this. Then here at the top, we can see the hosting plan we chose, and we can change how often we'd like to pay for our hosting here if we like, and I'm going to change mine to yearly, as this way we still get our free domain name and a great discount. Then under this, we have our domain name, and we can see we're getting 1 year for free, which would normally cost us $12.99. Then under this, we have Domain Privacy Protection and Professional Email. But as we don't need either of these to build our website, we're just going to click the trash icon to the right of each one to remove them from our order. And now if we look over on the right, we can see the total price to pay. So it's going to cost me $59.88 for 12 months of hosting and my domain name. And as WordPress itself is free and there's nothing else we need to pay for, this means it's only going to cost us around $4.99 per month to run our website, which is awesome. And if we look underneath here, we can see they also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Now we just need to click Continue to Checkout. Then we're going to enter our personal information here, so things like our name and address. Then if we scroll down, we can enter the password we want to use for our Bluehost account. And then under this, we can choose our payment method. And we can choose either credit or debit card or PayPal. So I'm just going to pause this video while I pay for my order, and I'll be right back. So that's me now back, and after paying for my order, I was automatically logged into my Bluehost account. And now we can install WordPress. To do this, we just need to click into Hosting on the left. And just like that, Bluehost is going to start installing WordPress onto our domain name. Or if it doesn't for some reason, click where it says Add Site on the right and follow the prompts. Then once it's been installed, we can click Log into WordPress, and this will open up our WordPress website in a new tab. Now, when we first install WordPress on Bluehost, they'll want us to use their AI Site Creator or import an existing WordPress site. But we're not going to do either. Instead, we're going to close out of this new tab, and we'll see our website is here. Now we're going to click Edit Site, and this will open up our website in a new tab, only this time we'll bypass the Bluehost onboarding process. Then the first thing we're going to do in here is remove some plugins that came pre-installed. Plugins are basically like apps for WordPress that allow us to add extra functionality to our website that WordPress doesn't come with by default. Now we can always install plugins later on after learning the basics of WordPress, but as we don't need the ones that came pre-installed, we're going to remove them. And to do this, we need to click into Plugins on the left, and this will show us any plugins we have installed. Now we're going to check the box in the top left to select all of the plugins in the list, Then we're going to change this drop-down menu to Deactivate and click Apply. And WordPress will deactivate all the plugins at once. And when we do this, you'll notice that a bunch of options and notifications have disappeared from the menu on the left. And that's because they were added by the plugins. And this is sort of the reason I wanted to do this first, as the extra options can make things seem a little more confusing than they are. Then once we've deactivated the plugins, we still need to delete them. So we're going to check this box again to select all of the plugins. Then we're going to change this drop-down menu to Delete and click Apply. Then we just need to click OK, and WordPress will delete the plugins. Then if we want to visit our website, we just need to click where it says Welcome in the top left, and this will show us what WordPress looks like when we first install it. And don't worry if yours looks a little different than mine, as sometimes they change up the default theme. But either way, it's just going to have some demo content on it for now. And I should point out here that where it says Welcome in the top left is actually just our site title, and we'll be changing it soon. So it's just set to Welcome by default. Then to get back to the dashboard, we're going to click where it says Welcome again in the top left, and this will bring us to the dashboard homepage. So this is what we'll normally see when we log into our website, as the first time we were on the Bluehost welcome screen. And now, the next thing we're going to do is install a theme, which is going to change the entire look of our WordPress website. Now, there are literally thousands of free themes available, and they're all a little different. So I would recommend using the same one as me to keep it the same. Now, you can always change theme again later once you learn the basics, but we're going to be using one of my favorite themes, which is called GeneratePress. GeneratePress is a great theme for beginners. It's also very popular and even has an almost perfect 5-star review score on WordPress with almost 1,400 reviews. Then to install a theme, we just need to click in the Appearance on the left, and this will show us any themes we have installed. Then to add a new one, we just need to click Add Theme at the top. Now in the search bar in the top right, we're going to type GeneratePress, and this is the one we're looking for here. And once it shows up, we just need to hover our mouse over it and click Install. Give it a few seconds to install, and click Activate. At this point, we'll see at the top it says New Theme Activated, and if we click Visit Site, this will bring us to our website, and we can see it now looks quite a bit different. And now that we have our theme installed, the next thing we're going to do is change our site title, and we can also add a logo if we have one. To do this, we just need to open up our theme options. So we're going to click here where it says Customize at the top. And in here, we'll have a few different options down the left-hand side, and then a live preview of our website on the right. So to change our site title, we're going to click into the first option on the left, which is Site Identity. Then here at the top, we have our site title, and I'm going to change mine to say Marty's Website. And we'll see this updates in real time on the right. Then under our site title on the left, we have Tagline, and this is a line of text that appears underneath our site title. But before typing anything in here, we just need to uncheck this box beside Hide Site Tagline. Then if we type something in here, we'll see that it appears underneath our site title. Then under our tagline on the left, we have an option to upload a logo if we have one. So as long as we have the image downloaded to our computer, we can click here where it says Select Logo, then click Select Files in the middle, find the image on our computer, click on it, and click Open. Then once the image has been uploaded, we just need to click Select in the bottom right. Then here we have an option to crop our image if we need to, or we can click Skip Cropping. And when we do this, we'll see our logo has been uploaded at the top. Now, this is a bit bigger than I would like, so here on the left, we have this new option to change the logo width, and I'm going to change mine to 60 pixels. And when I do this, we'll see it now looks a lot better on the right. And these pencil icons are only appearing in the preview and won't be on our actual website. Then, once we're happy with our logo, if we scroll down on the left, we have one last option, which is to upload a site icon. And this is the little icon that appears in our internet browser beside our site title. And by default, it's set to be the WordPress logo. So if we are going to upload a site icon, we want to make sure that it's 512 by 512 pixels. Then once we have it downloaded to our computer, we can click Select Site Icon. Then we're going to click Upload Files in the top left and click Select Files in the middle. Then we're going to find the image on our computer, click on it, and click Open. Then once it's been uploaded, we're going to click Select in the bottom right. And now if we look up at the top, we can see my site icon has changed. Then once we're happy with everything here, we just want to click Publish at the top to save our changes, and then click the back pointing arrow to the left to get back to the main list of options. And now, the next thing we're going to do is add some pages to our website, and we're going to do this by creating a menu. So we just want to click into Menus here on the left, and then click Create New Menu. Then here at the top, we need to give our menu a name, and I'm going to call mine Main Menu. Then we just want to check this box beside Primary Menu and click Next. And now we can start adding the different pages we want to our menu. And to do this, we just need to click Add Items. Then we can type the page name into this box and click Add to create the page. So for this example, I'm going to create a page called Home, a page called About Us, a page called Services, and one called Contact Us. Now, you can create whatever pages you like, but I would recommend adding one called Home, and we're going to be using this to replace the blog that's currently on our home page. And once we've created our different pages, we can see they've been added to this list on the left, and this represents our menu. So anything at the top of this list will appear on the left side of our menu, and anything at the bottom will appear on the right. And if we want to change the order of these, we can click Reorder, and then use these up and down arrows to change the order. But I'm just going to leave mine as they are, and click Done. And at this point, if we look over on the right, we can see our menu has been added here. And we can click into our different pages. Now, they don't have any content on them at the moment, but we're going to be adding some soon. Then, once we're happy with our menu, we're going to click Publish at the top to save our changes, and then click the back pointing arrow to the left to go back, and then click it once more to get back to the main list of options. And now, the next thing we're going to do is assign our home page. So if we click our site title or logo at the top, this will bring us to the actual home page of our website, which at the moment is set up to be a blog. And we have this demo blog post called Hello World. And this is because WordPress was originally designed as a blogging platform. But as we're creating a website, we're going to change this to be the page we created called Home. And to do this, we just need to click into where it says Homepage Settings on the left. Then we're going to change this to a static page. And then under Homepage, we're going to choose our page called Home. Then we're just going to leave the posts page the way it is. And now, if we click our site title or logo at the top, we'll see it brings us to our new page called Home. Then once we're done here, we're going to click Publish at the top to save our changes, and then click the back pointing arrow to the left to go back to the main list of options. Now, we are going to come back in here later on in the tutorial, but for now, we're going to click the X in the top left to close out of the theme options. And at this point, we'll see all of the changes we made are now live on our website. So we have our site title and our logo at the top, and our tagline. Then we have our menu in the top right with our different pages. And we're going to start adding content to these pages in a second. But just quickly before that, if you're following along with this tutorial and you're enjoying it so far, please give the video a like to show your support, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more WordPress tutorials like this. And now we're going to add some content to our pages. To do this, we're going to click into the page we want to start with, and for me, this is going to be my About page. Then we're going to click at the top where it says Edit Page, and this will bring us into the WordPress editor. And we can just close out of this pop-up. Then here at the top, we'll see we have our page title, and we can change this if we like, but I'm just going to leave mine as it is. Then to start adding text to our page, we can just click in underneath the title and type whatever we like. But to save some time, I'm just going to delete this again and paste in some text I already have copied. Then once we've added any text we like to our page, if we highlight some of the text, we can change it to be bold and italics here in the menu. Then if we have any text we want to turn into a heading, like here, we just need to click on it to select it. Then if we click this symbol in the menu that looks like a backwards P, we can change this to heading, and we'll see it changes size in the editor. Then we can also change the heading size. We just need to click on it, then click where it says H2 in the menu, and we can change it to a different size. Then if we want to add a bullet list, we can just highlight the lines of text we want to include in the list, then click the backwards P in the menu and choose List. And we'll see it changes in the editor. Then I also have another heading here, so I'm going to click on it, click the backwards P, and choose Heading. Then to change the heading size, I'm going to click where it says H2 and choose a different size. Then once we're happy with the text on our page, we can add some images. To do this, we just need to take a new line where we want our image to appear. Then we're going to click the plus symbol to the right, and then click on the image block to add it. Now we're going to click where it says Upload on the left, find the image we want to use on our computer, click on it, and click Open. And the image will be added to our page right away. Then if we want to change the size of the image, we can enter a specific width and height here on the right, or we can just click this point to the right of the image and drag it to whatever size we like. Then we can add another image if we like, but I'm just going to add one for the example. Then if we want to see what our page is looking like so far, if we click this icon in the top right, and then click Preview in New tab, this will open up a preview of our page. So we have our text and our image, then we have our headings and a bullet list. But you might notice that there's no gap between this image and the heading. So if this happens, the best way to fix it is by using something called a spacer. So to add a spacer, we just need to close out of the preview, then we're going to click on the image and hit Enter on our keyboard to take a new line. Then we need to click the plus symbol to the right, type the word spacer into this search bar, and click on the spacer block to add it. Now the default height for a spacer will be 100 pixels, which we can see here on the right. But for something like this, I recommend changing it to 20 pixels. Now if we click this icon in the top right and click Preview in New tab, we'll see there's now a space between the title and the image. Then once we're happy with how our page looks in the preview, we can close out of this tab and add any more content we want to our page. But I think mine's looking pretty good, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. Then once we're finished adding content to our page, we're going to click Save in the top right to publish our changes. And now if we click where it says View Page in the bottom left, we'll see that everything we added to our page is now live on our website. And I'm just doing this all quickly to show you how it's done, but if you spend a little more time on it, I'm sure yours will look a lot better than mine. And now we just need to add some content to our other pages. So we're going to click into the next page in our menu, which for me is my services page. Then click Edit Page at the top to open it up in the editor, and add our content in the same way. But to save some time in the tutorial, I'm just going to do this. So now I have my home page, my About page, a services page, and a contact page. And I've left space at the bottom of this one as we're going to be adding a contact form. This way our visitors will be able to get in contact with us if they need to, and we'll get the message sent to us as an email. Now, WordPress doesn't come with the ability to add a contact form built into it, so to add one, we're going to install a plugin. To do this, we just need to click our site title in the top left to get back to the dashboard, and you'll notice at this point that it no longer says Welcome here since we changed our site title. Then from the dashboard, we're going to click into Plugins on the left and click Add Plugin at the top. Now we're going to click into the search bar in the top right and type WP Forms. Then once it shows up, this is the one we're looking for here, and we just need to click Install Now. Give it a few seconds to install, and then click Activate. Then once the plugin's active on our site, we're going to click into where it now says WP Forms on the left and click Add New at the top. Then the first thing we need to do in here is give our form a name at the top, and I'm going to call mine Contact Form. Then one of the awesome things about the WP Forms plugin is that it comes with a contact form already created for us. So we just need to select Simple Contact Form. So we're going to hover our mouse over it and click Use Template. And this will bring us into the form builder where we can see a live preview of the form. So this form asks for the user's name, their email address, and their message. And then we have a Submit button at the bottom. Now, this is more of a personal preference, but normally I prefer just asking for the first name rather than first and last. So to change this, if we click on the name field in the preview, over on the left under Format, we're going to change this from first and last to simple. And now it'll just have one text box for the name. Then if we want to change the button text at the bottom, we just need to click on it. Then here, under Submit Button Text, we can change this to whatever we like. And I'm going to change mine to say Send Message. Then if we click into Fields on the left, this will bring us back to the form, and we can see the button text has changed. Then the last thing we need to do in here is click into Settings on the left, then click into Notifications, and then here, under Send To Email Address, we're going to delete what's already in here and type in the email address we want our messages to be sent to. And then we're going to do the same thing for the From email. So we're going to remove what's already in here and then type in the email address that we want any form messages to be sent from. And these can both be the same email address. Then once we're done here, we can click Fields on the left to go back to the form. And once we're happy with everything here, we're going to click Save in the top right to save our changes, and then click here where it says Embed. Now we're going to click where it says Use a Shortcode at the bottom, and this will give us the code that represents our form. Then we just need to click this icon to the right to copy it, and then we can close out of this pop-up. Then we're going to click the X in the top right to close out of the form builder, and then click into Pages on the left. And this will show us a list of all of our pages. Now we need to find our contact page, hover our mouse over it, and click Edit. And this will bring us into the editor. Then in here, we're going to take a new line where we want our form to appear, then right-click and paste in the shortcode. This will automatically be changed to a shortcode block, and this represents our form. Then once we're done here, we just need to click Save in the top right to publish our changes. And now when we click View Page in the bottom left, we'll see that the form is now live on our site. And now we just want to test it to make sure it's working okay. So I'm just going to fill out a random name, an email address, and a message. Then when I click Send Message at the bottom, we'll get this confirmation text that shows the message has been sent. And now if we open up our email inbox, we'll find that we've received the form submission as an email. Now, you might need to check your spam folder the first time you do this and mark it as not spam, and then they'll always hit your inbox. Then if we close out of our emails, and refresh the page, we'll see the form comes back. And now if we visit the home page, the next thing we're going to do is hide our home page title. So most of the time it makes sense to have a title at the top of our pages, but for the home page, it's really not necessary. Now, not all themes come with this option built into it, but the Generate Press theme does. So to hide the home page title, which is totally optional, we just need to click Edit Page at the top to open it up in the editor. Then over on the right, if we scroll down, underneath Disable Elements, we're going to check the box beside Content Title. Now if we click Save in the top right to publish our changes, and then click View Page in the bottom left, we'll see that the page title is now gone. And we can do this for any of our pages, but I just wanted to do it for the home page for mine. And now we're going to add some content to our website's sidebar. So you might have noticed that our pages are a little off-center and they're more to the left. And this is because there's a space for our sidebar on the right. The sidebar is where we can add some content that appears the same on every page of our website. To do this, we just need to click Customize in the top left to open up our theme options. Then click into Widgets on the left and click into Right Sidebar at the top. Then here we can just click Got it. And now we can start adding content to our sidebar, which is done in a similar way to adding content to our pages. So we just need to click this plus symbol. Then say we wanted to add some text, we can click on the paragraph block to add it. And then just start typing the text we want. And we'll see this updates in real time on the right. But I'm just going to delete this text and paste in some that I already have copied. And we'll see this updates on the right. Then if we want to add an image to our sidebar, we just need to click the plus symbol again to add another block. Then we can click on the image block if it's already here, or if it's not, just type the word image into the search bar and then click on it to add the block. Now we can either click Media Library to use an image we've already uploaded, or click Upload to add a new one. Then we just need to find the image on our computer, click on it, and click Open. Then once it's been uploaded, we'll see our image now appears in our sidebar on the right. Then if we want to change the size of our image, we can click and drag this point to the right, and we'll see it changes size in the preview. But I'm just going to make mine bigger again. Then if we want our image to appear above the text, or if we want to change the order of any blocks in our sidebar, we just need to click on the one we're wanting to move, and then we can use these up and down arrows in the menu to change the position. So I'm going to put my image above the text, and we'll see it changes in the preview on the right. Then the last thing I want to add to my sidebar is a text heading. So to do this, we just need to click on the plus symbol at the bottom to add a new block, and then click on the heading block to add it. Now we just need to type whatever text we want in here, and we'll see it's added to our sidebar on the right. Then we can also change the heading size if we like by clicking H2 and choosing a different size. But I'm just going to leave mine as it is. Then if we highlight the heading, we can also change it to be bold and italics as well if we like, but I'm just going to undo these again for mine. Then if we want to change the position of our heading in the sidebar, we just need to click on it on the left, and then use these up and down arrows to change it. And I'm going to move mine to be above the text, and we'll see it changes position on the right. Now for my example, I want this text heading and the text underneath it to be in the same block. So I want to get rid of this gap in between them. To do this, we need to highlight all of the text and the text heading. Then we're going to click this icon to the left of the menu and choose Group. And when we do this, we'll see that they're added together on the right and it looks much better. Now, I'm happy with the content I've added to my sidebar, but there are a bunch of other blocks we can add as well. So if we scroll down on the left and click the plus symbol at the bottom, if we click Browse All, this will show us all the different content blocks we can add to our sidebar. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these in this tutorial as it'll add a bit too much time, but a lot of these blocks are pretty self-explanatory, and I'll also link to some tutorials in the description of this video that cover how to use some of them. Then, once we're done, we can click the X at the top to close out of this. Then, once we're finished adding blocks to our sidebar, we're going to click Publish at the top to save our changes. Then, if we scroll up on the left, we can click the back pointing arrow to go back, and then click it once more to get back to the main list of options. And the last thing we're going to do is update the colors on our website. To do this, we just need to click into Colors on the left, and this will give us our different color options. So if we click this down pointing arrow to the right of Body, here we can change our background color. So if I change this to white, we'll see that it updates in the preview on the right. Or we can make it any color we like, and we'll see it changes in the preview. Then if we ever change one of our colors and want to change it back, we just need to click here where it says Default, and it'll go back to the original color. Then under background color, we have text, and we can just do the same thing again, and we'll see our text changes color on the right. But once again, I'm just going to put this back to default. Then once we're finished with a group of colors, we can click the up pointing arrow to close them, and then click into the next one underneath. Now, I'm just going to keep the default colors for mine to save time, but I just wanted to cover where the options were to change the colors. And I'll link to a post in the description of this video that explains what each of these options are and what colors they represent on our website. But I think the default colors look pretty good, so even if you don't change them, it's still going to look great. Then once we're finished updating our colors, we just need to click Publish at the top to save our changes, and then we can click the X in the top left to close out of the theme options. And at this point, any changes we made will now be live on our website. Now, I know I didn't change any of my colors, but if we had changed our colors, they'd be updated too. So we have our site title, our tagline, and our logo at the top. Then over on the right, we have our menu. And if we click into our different pages, we'll see that the sidebar stays the same. Then we also have our contact form, so our visitors can send us a message. Then, without us needing to do anything else, this website is also 100% mobile friendly, which means it's going to look amazing on any device. So if I make this window a little smaller, this is what our website's going to look like on a tablet. And then if I make it a little smaller again, this is what our website will look like when being viewed on a mobile phone. So no matter what device our website's being viewed on, it's always going to look great. So that's us now at the end of this video, and that was how to build a WordPress website in 30 to 40 minutes. I really hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more WordPress tutorials like this. There's also a video on screen now that'll show you how to add clickable links to your website. Once again, my name's Marty from letsbuildwp.com, and thank you for watching.